Hello students, I hope you all are keeping well. So everyone, welcome back to your online classes, and today's topic is Armed Forces of India, chapter 34, page number 47. So Armed Forces of India means the Indian Armed Forces are the military forces of the Republic of India. Okay. The armed forces protect our country. So what does these armed forces do? They protect our country. Okay. They comprise army, navy and air force. So these armed forces consist of three professional informed services. Okay. They are the Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force. The President of the nation is the supreme commander of the armed forces. So, who will be the President of the nation? The supreme commander of the armed forces. The President of the nation is the supreme commander of the armed forces. India has the third largest army in the world, the fourth largest air force and seventh largest navy. So in the world, India ranks the third largest army, okay, in the world, and the fourth largest air force and seventh largest navy. These forces have various ranks and positions that hold certain responsibilities. So all these forces, okay, this army, navy, air force, all these forces, they all have different ranks and positions that, okay, and they have different certain responsibilities. So let's learn about their hierarchy and ranks. So army, general, okay, general, then lieutenant general, then major general, brigadier, colonel, lieutenant colonel, major, captain, lieutenant, second lieutenant. And in navy, these all are the hierarchy, okay. Admiral, vice admiral, rear admiral, commodore, captain, commander, lieutenant, sub-lieutenant and ensign. Air Force, Air Chief Marshal, Air Vice Marshal, Air Commodore, Group Captain, Wing Commander, Squadron Leader, Flight Lieutenant, Flying Officer, Pilot Officer. Okay, these armed forces, these all are the armed forces of India. Okay. So next is geography. Okay, chapter 35. Geography means geography is the study of places and the relationships between people and their environment. Okay. A. Identify the states where these places of interest stand. So we have to identify the places. Okay. Number 1. Dash state is known as the land of 5 rivers. Which state is known as the land of 5 rivers? That is Punjab. 2. The 7 sisters prior to inclusion of Sikkim include Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, dash. So answers are Tripura, Assam and Nagaland. Number 3. The Nanga Parbat peak is located in Dash mountain range, Himalayas mountain range. Number 4. The southernmost hills of India are the Dash hills. Which hills? Cardamom hills. Number 5. Nathpa Jhakri hydropower project is located in Dash, that is in Himachal Pradesh. Number 6. Kashmir Valley lies in Dash and Dash Himalayan range. Kashmir Valley lies in Janskar and Pir Panjal Himalayan range. Number 7. Dash is known as the Manchester of South India, that is Coimbatore. 8. India's longest river is Dash, Ganga. 5. Dash rail bridge stands on the Hooghly River. Which rail bridge? That is Jubilee Bridge. 10. The state of Dash has the largest area of forest land. So that is Madhya Pradesh. B. Recognize the pictures and write their names. So what you have to do is you have to know these pictures, okay, from your past experience. You have to know these pictures and you have to write their names. Okay, number 1, this is the picture of Taj Mahal. Number 2, this is Red Fort. And number 3, this is the Gateway of India. Number 4, this is Konark Sun Temple. And number 5, this is, everyone knows, this is Taj Mahal. 6, this is the statue of Tiruvalluvar. Okay. 7, this is Kailash Temple. And number 8, this is Ajanta Ellora Caves. Okay. 9, this is Sanchi Stupa. 10, this is Charminar. And this is in Hyderabad. Okay. 11, this is Vivekanand Rock Memorial. 12, this is Statue of Unity. C. Tick the correct option or options. So here you have to tick on the correct options. Okay. Number 1, which states share borders with other countries? So options are Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Bihar. So which states share their borders with other countries? Answers are Rajasthan, West Bengal, Bihar. 2. The Gulf of Mannar is situated along the coast of which state in India? Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. So the answer is Tamil Nadu. 3. The states called the Seven Sisters are Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Nagaland, Meghalaya, dash and dash. Sikkim, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh. Answer is Arunachal Pradesh. 4. Which one of the following is the southernmost flowing river in the Indian mainland? So which river flows? Options are Krishna, Godavari, Pennar, Pajhayar. So answer is Pajhayar. 5. Where are the coal reserves of India largely concentrated? Options are Mahanadi Valley, Son Valley, Godavari Valley, Damodar Valley. Answer is Damodar Valley. 6. Which of the following Indian islands lies between India and Sri Lanka? So options are Elephanta, Nicobar, Rameswaram, Salsette. That answer is Rameswaram. 7. In which city of India is the Gol Gumbaz Mosque situated? Bijapur, Hyderabad, Secunderabad, Gulbarga. So answer is Bijapur. 8. Which of the following lakes are found in Assam? Haflong, Chandubi, Songmu, Sonbil. So answers are Haflong, Chandubi and Sonbil. So chapter 36, Thinkers and Reformers. So here we are going to learn about them, okay? About thinkers and reformers. India has seen the advent of some great reformers and thinkers in its pre-independence period. They brought about several changes in the society by rooting out its evil and making it a better place to live in. So identify some of these great personalities with the help of the pictures and descriptions provided below. Name them. So what you have to do is you have to identify the pictures and you have to know that who is this person by reading their details given here. Okay. Number 1, he was a key figure of the Bengal Renaissance. He received the title Vidyasagar for his excellence in Sanskrit studies. He worked for the upliftment of women in the Indian society. He was also called Dayas R. Sagar for his kind-heartedness. So, he was the figure of the Bengal Renaissance and he has also received the title named Vidyasagar for his excellence in Sanskrit studies. And he also worked for the upliftment of women in the Indian society. Okay. and he was also called Daya Arsagar for his kind-heartedness. So he is none other than Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Number 2, you have to look at this picture and you have to read the details and you have to write their names. Okay. He lived his luxurious life to serve the downtrodden section of the society. Okay. He is particularly known for his contribution in the rehabilitation of the people suffering from leprosy and established the Anandwan Ashram. So, who is he? He is Baba Amte. Okay. 3. He gave the slogan "Go back to the Vedas" and formed the Arya Samaj for teaching the true Vedic religion. He was against idol worship, animal sacrifices, and ritualism. He supported female education and propagated equal rights for all. So, he is Swami Dayanand Saraswati. 4. He is the pioneer of the Buddhism movement. He supported non-violence and advocated human rights. He became the first person to receive the International Ramon Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership. Then who is he? He is Vinoba Bhave. Number 5. He founded the Brahmo Samaj and is known as the maker of modern India. He is best known for his role in abolishing evil practices such as sati. Okay, sati and child marriage. Sati means in the ancient times, if someone is married and if that girl's husband dies, so what the girl has to do, along with her husband, a girl the people will throw that girl onto her husband's funeral. Okay. Or a sati means a former practice in India, okay, whereby a widow threw herself onto her husband's funeral pyre. Okay. He supported widow remarriage and worked for the upliftment of women in the rigid Hindu society. So, he also supported widow marriage. Widow marriage means a woman without her husband. That means her husband is already died. So, that women can also remarry with another boy. Okay. That is, he is Raja Rammohun Roy. 6. He formed the Satya Sodhak Samaj to fight for the rights of low-caste people and peasants and thus free them from the suppression of the Brahmins. So, what did this person do? He formed the Satya Sodhak Samaj. Why he formed? To fight for the rights of low-caste people and peasants, and he also freed them from the suppression of the Brahmins. He was the pioneer in the field of women's education and he also supported women's education. He brought positive reforms in the spheres of education, agriculture and social inequality. So, he also brought positive reforms in the field of education, agriculture and social inequality. So, he is Jyotiba Phule. This much for today, and we will continue in the next class, and all the answers I will send you through WhatsApp. Okay, and students, kindly watch all the videos whatever I will send you through WhatsApp. Okay, because I will be every day I will be uploading the video, so your duty is to watch the videos and do all the works whatever I have sent you through WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you, students.